in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy, howdy everybody. Welcome once again to HT's EDC, coming at you this Sunday morning. Hope everybody is having an awesome weekend. Hope you had a good Saturday yesterday. Was able to get out and enjoy it. Think we got another one for you, another good one for you today. Looks like I have, and I really didn't plan it to be this way, but it looks like I got a little mini series going, a comparison series, if you will. I mean, it just started out with that first video, and you know, it kind of morphed into, I guess this will be the third video in a row where I'm kind of doing a comparison of a couple of knives, but we'll get into that just a minute. We're going to do a quick what you toting, see what's in the pocket for this Sunday. Left pocket, Holy Land pocket cross, Nissan truck fob. Also, in the left pocket today, we have the Victorinox Tinker, one of my favorite little lighter carry Swiss Armies. Of course, you know, HT's big on that right there. That Phillips head screwdriver is a must for me. Love the Tinker. And again, kind of light today. Rainy day. If you see these little splotches all over my shirt up here now, that's not grease. That's water, kind of water stains where I carried in a load of wet wood. It's wet and rainy here in the stone, and got a fire going for us just a while ago. But no, that is not just a dirty shirt. Those are wet water stains. So anyway, we're in sweatpants. We're indoors today, kind of a wet, rainy day, going light. And got the old MKM magnetic slip, and we are housing the old Remington. On this channel, it is known as the Moose Rat. Remington calls it the Muskrat. I digress. But we'll take it out real quick. You guys have seen this 1,000 times, but this is a beauty to show off. Got the nice Coca-Cola wood here. Anyway, this is the Remington Lumberjack, or the R4468. I can get that to come in there. Am I saying that right? Yes, R4468. I just call it the Lumberjack. Beautiful, beautiful little smaller Moose Rat. This is only 3 3¾ inches. This is not one of the big boys, the 4 1/4. This is 3 3/4, but a nice, listen to this snap. Beautiful. Nice little light carry. And that's what we're toting today. All right. See if my coffee is cool enough to consume. Still good and hot. Whew. All right, we are ready to get into it. Today, I am going to show you a new knife that has came into the collection. This is kind of stepping out of the norm for me. I usually don't really gravitate to fancy knives, real ornate knives. But when I seen this one, I was like, that's a smoker. I mean, if you've seen my thumbnail, I put grade A smoke show, and yeah, I think you'll agree when you see this guy. And here it is. Look at that. Take a 360 of this dude. Look at that. Check out that thickness. This is bone. This is not stag. This is saw cut. Look at that beautiful saw cut though. This is beautiful saw cut bone. And we will go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Look at those filigree engraved bolsters, brass bolsters. Yeah, gotta get a close up of that. Take that in. Take in that scroll work. They call this filigree engraving. Just beautiful. Again, typically not my kind of, nothing wrong with it. A lot of people, collect the more artsy, ornate knives. I typically don't, but I'm making it. So when I saw this, I'm like, good gravy. And it was at a good price. I was like, I got to do it. And not to mention, we will also get into the other elephant in the room here in just a minute. You have seen, most of you are saying already, that's a knockoff of a design. It is. Not going to sit here, not going to sugarcoat that. We will get to that in a minute. You have definitely, most of you have seen this chassis before, kind of this shark's fin, if you will. Yeah, there was definitely and I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to dress it up for you. A ripoff in design when it comes to, the chassis of this knife, the body, the, handles, the whole nine, shape of the bolsters, 100%. And we'll just do that right now. Anybody ever, well, let's hold them around here. They're the same way. Anybody ever seen, we'll do it real quick, this knife before? Yeah, you have on this channel. You see the similarities? Do you see the similarities? Yeah, this is the Case XX Shark's Tooth, one of the Shark series, kind of the big bruiser of the Shark series. This thing is 8 ounces, probably the heaviest. I'm sure there's something out there somewhere and somebody's going to say, HT, there's heavier. Of the known, of the real combatants in the large lockback, single blade lockbacks, this guy is the beast as far as heft. This is 3.0 ounces. This is heavier than a Buck 110. This is heavier than a LB7. It is a chunk. It is the pure definition of a pocket brick. You would want a shark's tooth in a sheath. This definitely was inspired by this. So we will get that elephant out of the room. I will tell you what I think comparison-wise. This, folks, and I haven't even told you the name of the knife, this is a Parker-Imai cutlery K. Go ahead and get it open. I even showed the blade. Well, it doesn't stop there. We got to go back for a second. Yeah, finger groove. Well, one of them does. They did do a little different here. They did a long pull nail nick. Folks, these knives are the exact dimensions. The only thing different is this guy is 8 ounces, which is, like I said, the heaviest really in the of the known large lockback folders. This is the pocket brick of pocket bricks, and this guy was like 6.7. So this is just under the weight of a Buck 110. This is not light by any stretch, but you have like over an ounce of more heft on the shark's tooth. But yeah, look at those. If I can get my fingers out of the way, look at those blades. Look at those sharpening choils right here. Yeah, definitely a rip-off in design. It just is. But anyway, this is a Parker what all do we say here? Parker-Imai surgical steel. And if you turn it around here, this is the K267 made in Japan. And I am going to do my best little HT history lesson on you. What is, some people may say, Parker-Imai, what's going on there, HT? Well, most of you have heard of Parker knives out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Old Jim Parker, let's just say he has a kind of a checkered, controversial past. Some people really like the guy and like his designs. Others, I'm not saying nothing that ain't said before. Said the guy was a crook, a con artist. We're not here to talk about that, what side of the fence you are on Parker knives. But one thing Mr. Old James Parker was a good businessman. And in the 80s, he partnered with Seizo Imai, which he is a custom knife maker out of Seki City, Japan. You've heard me talk about that city on here before. It is an absolute hotbed, one of the hotbeds, knife cities in the world. Your Seki City, you've heard me talk about Montiago, Italy, Zollingen, Germany. Anyway, Seki City, top notch, a knife making town. And Mr. Seizo Imai was one of the custom Japanese makers. Well, old Jim partnered up with Mr. Imai in the 80s, and they opened a plant over in Japan that Mr. Imai oversaw, cutlery over there. And thus Parker-Imai, it was a collaboration. And these knives were, again, Japanese made under old Seizo Imai's oversight. And if you want to look that guy up, he has some knives now. The handmade stuff by Seizo Imai. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. He has passed on. He is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Mr. Imai. I believe it was 2014 he passed. But some of his custom knives are high coin. Very sought after. So I believe when you say what you want about old Mr. Parker, the collaboration and opening the plant in Japan with him was a good idea. And yeah, this is some of the stuff that came out of that shop over there under Mr. Imai's tutelage. Again, normally something like this would not be on, I'm not typically drawn to these type of knives, but I was this one. When you throw in that beautiful, thick saw cut bone, and then you put on those ornate, those filigree bolsters, and I'm just going to be honest with you, I'm a fan of the shark's tooth. So I'm already in on this design. Just count of cuz. I love it. Tried and true. And then you put in some Japanese technology, and you come up with something like this. I had to pull the trigger, folks. I know this will probably be a little polarizing to some, but I do love it. This will not be a piece that I'm just to total transparency. This ain't gonna skin a deer. Could it? Of course. It will not. This is a conversation starter, a special occasion piece, one that will look outstanding in a shadow box. But will I tote it? Yes, I will. And I'm not saying this is going in a case and it'll never be seen again. Special occasions, yeah, I will take this out and throw it in the pocket. Throw it in a sheath on my hip, rather. But just a beautiful piece. Construction-wise, we have, this is held together, these saw cut bone is held together by 3 brass pins here on both sides. We have nice brass liners on both sides. And this thing, by the way, was brand spanking new. This had the factory edge. It is sharp as a tack right now. The only thing I had to do with this, well, what I did to this, I guess probably I didn't have to, but I did my old sink thing where I always wash out the pivot and the channels and all. I did my HT scrub-a-dub-dub on it when I got it. And of course, these bolsters were tarnished just by no telling how long this had sat, you know, uncoon-fingered or what have you with the prior owner. But we gave those bolsters a good spit shine. We do have a buffalo. The Japanese, they were big on, they had a series, you know, animals or whatever. This one, we have a buffalo head there on the blade. I could have done without that. Actually, my personal opinion, it takes away from this. I really, on this knife, I'm not even going to sit here and sugarcoat this. Itchy, it's got a buffalo on there with AON. I wished it wasn't there. I do. I don't like it. This is something the Japanese were big on, putting an eagle. Yeah, just, it's a buffalo head. Will I try to scrub that off or polish that off? Probably not. I probably won't. Because like I say, this is going to be a special occasion piece, conversation starter. You know, 2 or 3 times a year I pull this out and actually put this in a sheath. Old Buffalo will just have to ride with me. But basically he'll be overseeing his life in a nice shadow box or a case most of his life. But 100% wish that wasn't there. But again, they didn't. Mr. Imai didn't call me up and ask my opinion. So there's that. Definitely has this nice choke up choil here. Just like this. If I hadn't mentioned this, this is 5 inches closed. Just like this. Identical. If you know a shark's tooth, take off like 1.3 ounces of this. We have nice like rosewood. We got three brass pins holding this guy together, and rosewood wood. And we got 3 brass pins and some beautiful saw cut bone here. Yeah. Outside of that, it's a shark's tooth. It just is. Feel what you may about that, about ripping off of designs. Either way you go with it, you'll get no argument out of me. If you can't stand, if you are just out on this because it is pretty well a rip off of a design, I understand. I happen to like this design already. Think it is a great design. And this was just, it called out to me. This was just gorgeous. I bought it not to be ugly. It was my money. I'm not trying to justify it, but I had to pull the trigger. So anyway, wanted to show this one today. Definitely something different for my channel. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it is a gorgeous cover up old buffalo right here. I pinched that right there and get him out of the way. That is a just gorgeous piece of cutlery. Like everything about it. Hollow, again, I can go through all, you know, hollow grind, clip point blade. Folks, it's a shark's tooth. It's a shark's tooth with saw cut bone. And real ornate fancy bolsters. So this is the, if anybody is interested, this is the K267, and once again that tang stamp, Parker-Imai out of Seki City, Japan. That is what I got for you today. Yeah. Some little something different for you folks to chew on this Sunday. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed bringing it to you. thank you to all of you that gave me a piece of your day and are still listening to me at almost 20 minutes. You don't have to do that, and I thoroughly thank you for that. Well, we're going to get out of here, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm HT, and we are out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests, it's a sight to see. HT's